New Life Church, welcome to our TRAC Devo for the week as we are back to the beginning and we are reading through the book of Genesis. And I love how Genesis just sets the foundation for everything. It starts with in the beginning and it just declares that God created everything. And then we start reading through the book of Genesis and God immediately starts to reveal his plan for all of mankind. But the verse that got me this past week as we were reading about the accounts of Abraham and Sarah was found in chapter 21. So we're going to go to 21 in just a minute. But the thought was time. We all have the same amount of time. Many of us wish we had more time. Some of us wish we had less time. Some of us are really good at being on time or even being early. And then there's some of us who that clock just seems to get away from us and we seem to be running just a little bit late quite often. But time, 365 days in a year, 12 months in a year, 24 hours in a day, 60 minutes in an hour, however you choose to look at time, whatever ways you choose to monitor your time, whether it's through a calendar that you carry or a calendar on your phone or your alarm clock in the morning or clocks on the wall. We use these things to help us to use our time wisely. And so the word time is what came up this today when I was reading in Genesis. And first of all, back in Ecclesiastes, it says there is a time for everything, and that's in chapter 3. So Ecclesiastes talks about a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to harvest, and it goes on and on and on. So time. But then we think about God's timetable. And have you ever realized that God's timetable and ours don't always match up? And I love the story of Abraham and Sarah because God gave Abraham this amazing promise that from him would come many descendants. The problem is he didn't have any kids. And he and Sarah tried to do it their own way, and that was a mess. But God had promised Sarah a child. And they waited, and they waited, and they waited, and they waited. And now it's pretty much going to, like, there's no way that this can even happen. How can God answer this promise? But chapter 21, the Lord kept his word and did for Sarah exactly what he promised. Skip down. This happened at just the time God had said it would. God's time. I love that God's time is always perfect. We read again of this over and over in the Bible, whether it was Esther. At just the right time, she became queen. We read of Jesus himself. At just the right time, he came into the world. Time. God has such a unique and different time frame than we do. And yet, there's something that we know. That when God says it, that it doesn't matter what our calendars say, it doesn't matter what our clocks say, it doesn't matter whether we think he's on time or he's not. God's timing is always perfect. God's never late. God doesn't miss an appointment. God doesn't run out of time. God always does exactly what he says he will in his time. And that's just something that we need to trust. It's not always easy because our timetable is what governs a lot of us. And God's timetable doesn't always fit on those little blocks in my calendar, or it doesn't always match up with the time frames that I have on my phone. But when I trust God, whatever his time is, whether he answers it now, whether he answers it down the road, whatever his time frame is, I need to trust that that's what's best, and that God knows what's best, and that he will do exactly what he said in the right time. He's proven that over and over and over again throughout scripture, and even in your life and in my life. There were things that we waited for that we thought would never happen, and yet God in his time fulfilled his promises perfectly. So New Life Church, I don't know what you're waiting for today. I don't know what promise God has made to you. I don't know what it looks like for you right now. I don't know what your calendar says and what you're planning or what you think needs to happen right now. But there's one thing that I do know, that when you trust God and when you lean on him, that you can be assured that his promises will come to pass in just the right time. He has the ultimate calendar, and He knows exactly what to do and when to do it. New Life Church, be blessed and know that we love you, we care about you, and that we are always here for you. Goodbye.